Atención, mensaje para salas con público. Hoy no compartimos escritorio. Para los que están preguntando por compartir con la computadora. Hoy lo que estamos compartiendo es cámara en la dinámica con las semillas y bueno, y después todas las dinámicas que se van a dar en el guión que ustedes tienen. Que hoy no utilizamos computadora para compartir contenido. Gracias. Bienvenida a Sala IFD de San Ramón. Bienvenido Liceo de Cebollatí en Uruguay.
Así que el tuyo fue volver a arrancar el salvaje.
Después de 22 años.
Ay, qué locura, no, estoy loco.
29, ¿qué tal?
Son personas adultas, tipo seres humanos independientes.
A ver, podemos hacer una prueba, Eduardo.
Claro, ahí los escucho en inglés.
Ah, ¿te animás a...? Es una pruebita.
Hola, hola. Voy acá. Tengo eco igual en mis auriculares. Hola, hola, probando.
Sí, sí, los escucho.
1, 2. ¿Me escuchan?
Perfecto.
Perfecto. Muy
Ahí
bien.
va.
Lo que tengo es
¿Cómo? Algo.
Del lugar donde soy, despertamos con la luna. Cuando las caracolas cantan, saludamos a los cuatro rumbos para el fuego se ilumina. El relámpago nos llama. El lugar donde soy, nuestros hombres nacen dioses, que no se arrodillan ni se clavan en madera. Recitan poesía de estrellas y sus venas corre el universo.
Y Tonali, buenos días. Con el permiso de
Good
sus
morning.
rostros y corazones,
With the permission of your faces and your hearts, and this is an offering to Mother Earth and the universe. First, we have to define which energy to use. Then the destination of the energy to the north and to the south. It goes towards heaven and to Mother Earth. And these dances, at the beginning, we ask permission, and once we have finished, we say thank you. Thank you for your faces and your hearts. With the permission of your hearts and faces, I will briefly tell you about Saumadora. I'm the Saumadora, and these elements I have got here in my hands, these elements allows us to clean the place in which we are working, on which we are dancing. We can also cleanse the Hermanali, and we also cleanse all those that come into our room to have good energy in this home. After that, we place the kokostomi in the middle of the offerings, and this should be lit during the whole ceremony, and that's the way we pray to heaven, Ometeo. With the permission of your hearts and faces, we are here to share our dances where we aim to share our convictions. So now let us present our next dance. Here we are generating fire on the feet, the second step. This represents water. Fourth represents wind. We salute the earth and heaven. So now we're going to show a demonstration of the next dance.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Alejandro. Me toca hablar de las
Good
lenguas.
morning. My name is Alejandro. I'm going to tell you about languages in Mexico. Mexico is a place where we have different languages, and the system of languages have existed during 500 years. In rural communities, communities will still defend languages because they can tell us the direct thoughts of our ancestors. I will read a reflection in Nahuatl by Dr. León Portilla.
Nello non salisli, Iwan Welkamatilisli, Ayok Monemi in Escapa. Cuatactoli Yemiki, Mochitlamantli in Semanawa, in Teoat, in Atoyat, Yolcame, Cuautin, Iwan Shiwe, Ayok Monemilelo, Ayok Montenegualo, La Chialistica, Iwan Caquilistica, Ayok Monemi. Cuatactoli Yemiki, Semikak Motzakwa, no huyan a Tepepan, in Tlaneshilo, in Quixohuaya, in Yetlamahuis solo Chetica, in Mochimani Iwan Yoli, in Tlalticpa, y Cuatlactoli Yemiki, y Tlazoctatlactor, y Mehualiceltemilisli, Iwan Tetlazotlalisli, Anoso Huehuacuica, Anosotlactoli, Tlatlautilistli, Amaca in Yuocatka, Huelix Oxepa, Quiltenquixis, Cuatlactoli Yemiki, Oxequinte, Yeomique, Iwan Mie, Huelmiquisque, Tescatmani Postequi, Netzatzilistli y Cehualo, Semiccac Necahualo, Totlacayo Motolinía. Cuando muere una lengua, las cosas divinas, estrellas, sol y luna, las cosas humanas, como pensar y sentir, ya no se reflejan en ese espejo. Cuando muere una lengua, todo lo que hay en el mundo,
everything in the world, seas and rivers, animals and plants, are not thought or not spoken of, with glimpses and sounds that no longer exist. When a language dies, then a window, a door closes for all peoples of the world. A glance in a different way, everything that exists and is life on earth. When a language dies, it works on love, intonation of sorrow and fondness, perhaps old songs, tales, discourses, prayers. Nobody as they were will be able to repeat. When a language dies, many more have already died, and many can die. Mirrors forever broken, voice shadows forever silenced. Humankind is impoverished. Thank you very much. We thank you. Thank you for sharing. We say goodbye to the dancing group. We thank the Institute Gregoria Santos and the teacher Robert Centeno, who is going to share the party of the seeds. While we wait for that, Professor Centeno, we can continue. Teacher Robert Centeno, go ahead.
Sí, el audio de Delma se...
Okay, you can start. Pete, if you are there. Good morning to everybody, brothers from different countries who are watching us. We are here with brothers of the Instituto Superior Gregoria Santos. We also here with some community leaders who are going to share the experience today. We thank who is going to present the dancing to let you know what we have been doing here this side of the country in Peru. with the region of Cusco. I don't know if you are listening to us. Yes, perfect. Teacher Centeno, welcome. Thank you very much for sharing the spirit of what is the feast of the seeds. Yes, here we are living the Watunabi in an archaeological site, a festival that is a real feast. We thank the seeds, particularly is a ritual act. We are here sharing with some other people who are going to present the festival. Okay, they are here. Let me introduce them. Children from the school. Some of them are going to come here to share with you what they want to say. Brother, little brother, please. Wait, good morning to everybody. We student from Gregorio Santos. Well, I'm going to say something about Watunaku. Watunaku is a kind of sacred encounter, a ceremony in June, a very cold day. Of the agricultural life.
We're seeing you from the other camera. We can't hear you. Professor Centeno, we can't hear you. We're not hearing you. If there is no water, there is no land. We're going to continue. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the image and audio. We're going to continue to share from different countries that are watching us right now. We have some images that we would like to share with you. She's a representative of a big institution here in our province, and she has been a representative of community leaders. She's here to tell us about a ritual. I would like to salute you. Means as a
of our Andean knowledge. We are taking our Incan centers that were valued from the past in the Incan times. There were nothing like this. There were no watches. Not only that, there were also visitors from other countries that have shared our knowledge, our Andean knowledge. Thank you very much. And today with us, we also have, come here, please. And she will tell us in her mother tongue, in Quechua, a little bit about all this and this activity we are performing today that is so important to us. So we are broadcasting from the Instituto Superior Santos, so we are opening to the rest of the world so we can share our knowledge.
Inanting yahtamanta ayapuchu manta lipi yahtamanta kilawamula lipi nantariki hamurin kuchi paparimon pari mampa misuinin chesta tarik monai tariki mani kunsriki pachamam antisman tamunai tapokuri sansman pokuri pastansman tawinyari samanta kay pachamaman skahtinya mikunin snapsipin once punax hasta no canchis monai tarik tausan mikunsriki uhakunchis imemana pachamaman skanchu chayqa manaya no canchis pas tausari suman turiki mikunas chaypa no canchis kamonai taqainin chaykupa inun samsrik monai tapukurimuran Ki pachamamanchis marik okay kachins kaite mana pachamamanchis pasriki akis tariki arqasta kanchayem kayra tariki chay kon srik chayman taktu suy kunataps munay tayariki apa yang sabang gaya ciwaziman tahamau durante sekon hamau tanyanan sekon apa rin tusnin tacai kusbayang periki kay ho menelis kamunay tariki sa para kay mama tachukuntin mukhus harat apa rin sabang kaya tama tariki sabang nuna nukanjis papay kung chaypi chay binanture kung chay saranchista ya tusupayan chaya mikunin skuna paspay kuna pasning periki munay tanay kutak tuspayawang.
Muy bien. Así la participación de nuestra lideresa, yo creo que también tratando de expresar lo que se viene viviendo y estos
Okay,
dos
so now
días.
she was sharing the activities that had been performed in these days here. Okay, so now we're going to continue with the activities and the workshops that we're going to be having today. So we would like to share this with you through this video clip. I don't know, what about the technical team? Do you have the clip ready in order to share that? Okay, this is the clip I told you about. So they are getting into the area. So this enabled us to share this spiritual experience. This is not a show, but it's an activity that we take part of, sharing all the elements in the ceremony. So as you can see, they are bringing the seeds. All the communities share the seeds that they use. They come from different points, they come from different countries, Argentina and Ecuador, and they also share this ceremony of the seeds. We find this very interesting. Okay, Professor Centeno, now let's see the clip by Hipólito. These are the images that were recorded yesterday. Now we're going to watch Hipólito's video clip, and after that, we're going to be sharing the conclusions. This has been a meeting of sharing seeds. It's not only about food and drink, this is about seeds and hearts. There are so many new children, new seeds that are here with us, and they inject life in all this process, how they have learned us, how they have taught us how to learn. We're all children of Mother Nature. We're all children of Pachamama. Here we are all together today, sharing the seeds in our hearts, sharing seeds to be planted in all the human hearts so we can recognize each other as brothers and sisters, so we can live together, helping each other in solidarity. So this space and experience is not only just this moment, but it should move on and enable us to share all the activities performed so far. What about the differences between these and the festivals and this ceremony that was conducted yesterday? This was a meeting of all the communities, and this has nothing to do with the Ramis. This is just a meeting with ourselves. It's for us and by us. So we got together in this space for all humanity. We want to share this with all the other people. So this is our way of loving Mother Nature and loving Pachamama. Some people may conceive this phenomenon and something that has to do with the devil. Well, many brothers and sisters that are not Catholics, or some Catholics, they believe that these ceremonies are related in some way, but that has nothing to do with the harmony in our lives. They do believe sometimes that it has to do with Satan, or that these are pagan ceremony. We have no connection with any of those things. Basically, we are working on the connections with nature, as our parents did, as our grandparents did, how we work with our houses, our style of life. That's what we do, is to strengthen our way of life. This is not a space for religion, but it's an opportunity to share. All religions are allowed in, so we can pray together for the well-being of all the communities. Do you have any message for all those that cannot be here today with us? Just basically to organize a Watanaku. We can do a Watanaku in our own homes. Even though we are invaded by technology and now we're far away from the dear ones, so we can start a Watanaku at home, and basically is a visit for the loved ones where I share with you the best of me. That's it, brother. So that's the reason why we're here in this world, is to share.
Paling canin tu semua kau saya tak karicis mana nak ima cakap hucaman caya semua mana jin kau saya tak cari semua asal semua apa kau saya kacung ke.
So now with your thoughts, I wanted to mention the studies on science and technology from this center where we generate knowledge, and I would like to value how the organization and structure of the communities allow them through this interaction to have access to knowledge. Also, this variety of seeds represents the different techniques being developed in each of the communities, in this specific case, in the Aile. What I wanted to highlight also is that how this sharing and living together allows coexistence with nature and the communities. And at the same time, in this opportunity, and thanks to the communication media, radio and TV, we can disseminate, raise awareness about the importance of ancestral knowledge. Here, I would also like to highlight that within this population, we have people from different places that allows us to gather using this platform, people from different platforms and individuals, making possible the sharing of this ancestral knowledge. This is thank you to diversity and culture. So now let's move on and let's go to Delma and the next activity, the seeds activity we're going to be conducting, and I can show you the seeds I've got here in Salamanca. Thank you, Agapito, that arranged together with Professor Centeno and with the Institute Gregorio Santos and the different communities. So here we are now. We are looking at your seats at the Universidad de Salamanca, where Agapito is right now in his doctorate studies. So we invite all the rooms to zoom in on the seats that they brought with them. So here in Inet, for instance, we are going to zoom in on the seats. These seats are specific special seats. Now they will tell us about this. The students will tell us about their activities. And so let's wait for the other rooms for them to zoom in the different fruits.
Well, dancings are going to the end as we have already agreed. Dancings are in the end. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you to everybody. Okay, we go to the dynamic of the seeds or the medicinal plants. Artigas, please, you can open your mic. What kind of seeds you have there? Good morning. Here, one of the teachers brought sunflower seeds. Okay, can you listen? Go ahead. Well, in our table, we have medicinal plants, seeds, for example, sunflower, and also apio. Well, there is a plant used to for the fever. We also have romero, marcela, and also ginger. And there are some other plants, here on the table, medicinal plants. Go ahead, Nes. You can talk about the seeds. Hello, good morning to everybody. As we see, we will watch in the Festival of the Seeds. We can find seeds to eat, to plant, and also symbolic seeds. There are seeds created by us with different messages. The idea is that each of the rooms select the seed and then going to share the different messages. While all the rooms prepare, you can see the seeds. The idea is to select one of the seeds from the rooms and then separate one or two of them and open them and to see which are the messages. Okay, Artigas, go ahead. Just choose your seed and we will simulate to open the message. Go ahead, Artigas, your mic. You have to select one of your seeds. Okay, are not real seeds, are made by you, look like real, but they are not. Which one you are going to open? The orange? Okay, the yellow one? That one, yeah, correct. Okay. I'm going to break the seed. Go ahead, please. Let's see the message. Well, the message is the earth is not of the man, The man is part of the earth. Okay, thank you. We're going to give one of the seeds to the beautiful flower, the group Beautiful Flower. Please choose one of your seeds. Please choose one of the seeds. Which one? Well, we cannot see them, Delma. Could you please show them? Okay. Thank you. See them now? The black one, that's correct. Let's see. And they're going to read the message. Okay. Peace, the children of the shareholding, respect for millennial cultures, make the peace today in the present. Could you please show them a little bit higher? Peace is sister of the shareholding. Respect for millennial cultures, make peace today.
The other rooms can choose between the seats, and after the activity they can film the video where they tell the message and we give it to them. Is there Paisandu, the big orange one for Paisandu? The one that she's showing? The one that you're holding? Is it that one? For Paisandu, the big orange one. Everything that grows has hope. The other one, please keep sending us through chat and we keep receiving them. What you want for seeds so we can send the messages through the video that we're going to record at the end. We're going to change the order and we welcome Sebastián. We are going to go to Mapuche artist in Chile. We're going to welcome to Sebastián. He's an artist, a very young artist. We thank you very much for your participation. And especially, we invited him because there's a work displayed in Santiago de Chile. And he's going to tell us about his work and why the contemporaneity in art. Go ahead, Sebastián. Thank you for the invitation. Can you hear me, right? I can't see myself in the camera. My name is Sebastián Calfuquio, and I'm an artist. My family is from the south of Chile, Mapuche. And my work is basically about identity, Mapuche contemporaneity, and how they break with structures and stereotypes that they have regarding certain concepts about Mapuche. Colonialism in Latin America has been very strong, and people with Mapuche origin or have been very discriminated through time. This has led to the negation of these identities and have been whitened by history. And they have been considered through a hygienic eye.
So gato por liebre is part of a saying that is basically to use something that is not similar to something else. It's about tricking someone into believing that something is what it is not. Basically, this work, Gato por liebre, it's based on a sculpture of a Mapuche community, and on the 16th century it represented the warrior fighting the Spanish conquerors. This conquest was not only about colonization, but also about the Chilean government that is still influencing and having an impact on the Mapuche peoples. What happens with this sculpture that was created by Nicanor Plaza, that was one of the biggest Chilean sculptors at the beginning of the century, he sent this sculpture to a contest in France, and it represents, he says, that represents the image of the last of the Mohicans in the United States. He was wearing feathers on top of his head. And this sculpture was part of a contest in France. And when it finally gets there, the sculpture did not win. So what Nicanor Plaza did, this sculptor, basically he sold the sculpture that did not belong, that was not representing a Mapuche. Basically he tricked the government into telling them that it was in fact a Mapuche. So basically the representation that we have of Caupolicán in Chile, it's in fact not the real one. So this, and in a sacred area for the Mapuche, that sculpture that is right in the middle of the city, I'm talking about one of the most important hills in Santiago, that is the capital of Chile. This sculpture that is replicated in 4 or 5 more sculptures all over Chile. So if you Google, for instance, Caupolicán in Chile, the first image that you get of Caupolicán is this image that is whitish image that does not correspond to the image of the Mapuche. Okay, so Nicanor Plaza created this sculpture without having any kind of contact with native populations. He never saw a real Mapuche in his life, so he created this romantic conception of the Mapuche, this neoclassic version that does not correspond to the original Mapuche. So in a way, this work, these are replicas, like souvenirs of this great failed attempt by the government to represent this. So what you can see here is this replica duplicated or more than 50 times in different materials. So we have 50 versions of this sculpture, and how we were tricked of something that does not correspond to what it visually represents. The work also refers to the male chauvinist base, because of course this is not only about an identity that has been colonized through a European image and conception of the leader, but also from the gender point of view, the gender standpoint. We tend to believe about the qualities of the Mapuche male, that it can reach even 2 meters tall, that they can carry a log on the back. So in a way, this also shows the irony from the gender standpoint, and this version that has been cleaned, and how we were all tricked through this image of a Mapuche that is not so, and it corresponds to a Native American character. Thank you very much, Sebastián. Thanks for sharing your work. So we hope the public got Sebastián's message, because these kind of sculptures that are so representative of some of the characters of the original peoples in Latin America. Fernando Colino will also tell us about this after this part by Chile. So we thought it was very, very interesting to discuss Sebastián's work, so to have a background in which to discuss Fernando's work. So thank you, Sebastián, very much for your contribution. You already have his information available, so you can continue working at his production. You can start working and continue working with your origins. Thank you, Sebastián. So now let me welcome now Collazo is here with us at the Contemporary Museum in Santiago de Chile. Please, Santiago, you have the floor.
Hello, Sebastián. I want to thank you for the invitation and thank the 2 different artists who wanted to participate. I'm going to host this. They said something for this opportunity we have prepared, talk about our ancestral wisdom. I want to say something about Sebastián and his work. I want to show you an image, the image of an object, which is usually in our daily life here in Chile. And it is a good introduction for to show how the states, the different states, manage the history of our ancestors. Okay, let's show you the image. This is a coin, which is everybody everywhere. The image of a machi. It says Mapuche and not Machi. With this image, we want to show you how the state present the original cultures. And to talk more about this, we want to show you the Chilean artist who is taking some time to present his work, Fernando Charzun, who represented the country in the Biennale de Venecia with his work Working. Thank you, Bernardo, for being here and to talk about your proposal for this biennale, and how can you connect that with this view of the state about the first people. Good morning. Thank you for your invitation. I'm going to talk a little about the motivation with a Paraguayan co-worker. In my case, the main motivation was to represent in my work what we can imagine about Chile. Chile is the only country here in South America with just not much indigenous population, and with no the genetic vinculation, genetic link with the original people, the first people. There is a great margin, more or less 70% of the Chilean population mixed with Mapuche blood. Anthropologists call this a blending, early blending, and that population, 70% with Mapuche blood, usually denies that condition, which is absurd. One of my greatest motivation was to take this idea and show and tell the Chileans that you are Mapuche, even if you deny that. How can you explain that? There you can see all the Mapuche last name that you can find nowadays in Chile. In the room, there are more or less 1,500 Mapuche masks that you can find here nowadays in Chile. It is popular art, contemporary art. These two different cores are not, of course, an archaeological cemetery or something exotic. It is what we find today in Chile. And the intention was to install that idea that the Chileans are Mapuches. And also other things that are here. If we go to the core of the Mapuche last name, you can find today, there are a clear discrimination, and the ones we find, the ones that survive the attempts of elimination about the Mapuche instinct. It is also an epic uprising of people, a glorious people, fighting people in a war against the Spanish colonists and also against the government of Chile. Such epic relationship that I make, it is very important, because it is also a history that is denied in Chile, that nobody talks about. Alonso de Ercilla was a poet who talked a lot about the Mapuche, but in fact talked about the glories of the colonists. He also talked about these glorious people who could be the whole empire, and also signed a peace treaty with the Spanish colonists. With the same logic of the Mapuche tradition of talking, they make a different treaties. We were lately not known. When the Chilean state started, they made a lot of treaties with the indigenous people, but they finally they said that there were no such treaties. And what I find is that they stole the lands, the indigenous lands, the land of our ancestors. And nowadays, these lands have been invaded by different industries. And therefore, that is the consequence nowadays. That explains the fighting of the Mapuche people. Well, now in this exhibition, there is a very strong political component for the Mapuche people, for his territory, for his culture, and the work where Ken shows living people, culturally living, which has accomplished, despite of this division made by the state with the Mapuche people, it shows there is different operations trying to eliminate the Mapuche people, a people that today is absolutely alive. There is a community in the outskirts of Santiago. There is Mapuche population in Santiago also. And there you can see how these cultures are alive. The culture is shown every day. There is a lot of energy to come back for the language, for the Mapuche language. Another topic present in Huarquén is a critical view of the state of Chile. With the first image you could see the image of the coin, because the state when referring to the first people, it looks like a publicity trying to make people see the indigenous population with just in a light way, in a light image, disappears rapidly. And we talk about that operation because that is the image the foreign people see about the country, and I see the Mapuche people or take it in a light way, and sees every aspect of the Mapuche culture in a light way. Okay, and what Huarquén means? Huarquén means messenger. Messenger is one of the characters of this work. It's clearly Huarquén is a political man, it's a counselor, but there is also a religious view. It is the one Huarquén is the one who has to take all the messages. And also the work is a Huarquén, is a messenger. To show a precise message. And then the Coyon, that are the Mapuche masks, a ritual, a religious character, and the works as a protector of the Mapuche culture. There is a central aspect, which are the friends, a kind of ritual protection for all the last names that are present in the masks. I don't know if there are any questions. Okay, is there somebody who wants to make any question? Well, we know that there are different rooms here to share their experiences. Well, we would like to, from the museum, to present one of the views of the state who have hosted these two artists, Sebastián Jalfuqueo We make some question about our own identity, precisely, which is diminished with this kind of cartoons or the blending of the original people. Well, purebloods are the less here. Well, can the Mapuche people show feels as discriminated and not as part of the people, and also a kind of weakness. We would like to show that through these works of art. Okay, somebody there?
Were they created by you? The masks were made by Mapuche artists, and a network was formed by the community 1,000 kilometers, the community. It was all by I had to explain to the craftsmen the work, so there were no mistakes made, or maybe they felt betrayed. There was a context of conflict, of war with the Mapuche people. I want to tell you about, there was a contest, an open contest for American curators in order to participate in different projects there was an international jury. And that is why we were able to accomplish this project. Regarding
what I was telling you at first, when the Chilean has to identify himself as a Mapuche. So I think it's a pretty good window that allows us to do this. Okay, so now we would like to know, is there any other question in the rooms, or is it, Delma, up to you so we can give the floor to someone else? We have some suggestions from the chat. There's a question from this room. So all the questions that may come up later, we will let you know about them, so can Sebastián or Bernardo can answer them. And also we can promote exchange between the rooms, because we have different teaching and learning activities in the room, so we can have an exchange with the artist. So we can do that afterwards. And we're going to be sharing the results of all this to the different nodes and rooms that are taking part. So we would like to thank the Director of Contemporary Art from Chile that provided the names of the artists that we could call for the activity. So we were able to have this within the context of MuRe activities. So thank you once again for that. Thanks for being available to the audience. Thanks, Bernardo. We want to congratulate you for being part of the Biennale in Venice, for being the artist from Chile that is present. Thank you very much to you all. And now we welcome Foglino from Montevideo, Uruguay. Thank you very much. Fernando, welcome. Fernando Foglino, as you can see, will be presenting his project, 3D Heritage. He's a visual actor, a visual artist that works in different topics and installations. He's an architect. Thank you, Fernando, for being with us today. So he's also working with the first peoples in the country, in this case in Uruguay. Okay, so Fernando, you have the floor now. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Just wanted to check that. Yeah, perfectly all right. Okay, cool. Okay, first of all, it's a pleasure being with you, being able to share this experience. I was invited by Delma to present this project that is called a 3D archive, or our national heritage. This is the result of several other works that I started some time ago, and basically it presents the need that is very important to us in these 200 years of independence of Uruguay, and how we need to revise our icons and symbols that in a way represent our identity. So basically I'm talking about identity here, something very important to all Uruguayan people. So I created this archive that is an independent project. It's a long-term project because it wants to cover all the monuments in the country in digital format. Right now we're having 20 or almost 30 monuments available to the public. You can visit this through the website. You can look at them, you can download them, you can get extra information. This has been made possible thanks to the technology available that we are using with two other partners. Basically, we're using a scanner. You can see it in the picture. It's pretty light. We can take it to different places. It can be used outside for almost like 6 hours, and that allows us to work with really big monuments, and then with some extra work in the office we can reach the 3D models I was telling you about. The way of going through this and this archive of monuments was basically starting with different topics. So first we started with all those aspects related to the indigenous population and the gaucho population, because one of the main reasons of this archive is to revise all these concepts. So I'm going to show you some of the monuments here. This is called the Sarandí Battle by Zorrilla de San Martín. That was the brother of the poet and writer that presented a poem called Tabaré. And through literature and through this poem, he brought to us the image of the Charrúa Indian, and some other colleagues from Chile, that idealized version, that neoclassic version of this people also happened here in Uruguay. In this monument here we have an indigenous woman. There's a puma right next to her, a mountain lion, At the time, this could run freely in Uruguay, and this is in a very important city when we talk about independence battles. So these are the pictures of what we get. This is the analysis of the monument. All these statues I'm going to be showing you were created in the 1930s. So basically we were celebrating 100 years of independence. That was also an irony because the project of the last charruas I'm going to be showing you in a minute, we are talking, the constitution is from 1930, and there all the rights of the citizens were included. But after the genocide of the Charrúa people by the president at the time, so that's a whole irony because both things took place. So now we're going through this revision and we're trying to have all these topics discussed once again. This is an important image. This is a portrait. If you can see at the previous picture, that was by a French artist, Ecurel, that in 1834, some Indians were taken to Europe, and these were called the last charruas. In this picture, you can see them wearing their typical clothes. They are drinking mate, some weapons. And in this picture, that in 1930, the sculpture, the artists were based on this drawing for their sculpture. The first one is by Macabidou. It was an Indian chief. As you can see, he's holding a spear. The spear is not there anymore. They were vandalized. In most of cases, they are made of these are very accurate reproductions. So we can use these models to recreate those missing parts. This is Tacuabe here. This is one of the other members of the group of the last charruas. He was very famous for being a very brave warrior. Then we have another sculpture. She's Gushunusa, and she's holding Micaela. Micaela is not in the original drawing by the French artist, because when they were taken to France, she was pregnant. So that little girl that is called Micaela was born in France. With all the, after being exhibited and analyzed, the three men died almost a year afterwards, and Gushunusa was the only survivor. She survived for some other years, and from Micaela we have no accurate data about what happened to her. We're talking about 1834, and this is Senake. Senake was the healing man of that small tribe of the last charruas. So these are survivors of the Battle of Salsipuedes in 1831. So here you have the original image. So there are pieces missing now in these sculptures, and through 3D modeling we were able to, or we can include those missing details. Now I will tell you about these two sculptures. These are very important chiefs, but now I'm talking about 1570. So basically they fought against the Spanish army, and after a battle like San Gabriel's, they died while fighting. They died in combat. This is Sapican and Abashuba. So they have their typical weapons, bow and arrow and mace. This historical picture of 1944, when this statue of Abashua was set up in La Rambla de Montevideo. So basically, Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay. It's on the coast, on the promenade. It's a very beautiful place. And they decided to set up these monuments right there. So in 1983, the King of Spain visited Uruguay. All his group and entourage was driving past this monument, and at the time the politicians decided that this may result offensive to the King of Spain, so they removed it from its original place, its original location. So they are sent to a warehouse, and nowadays these are in Abashua town, and now it's exhibited there in a pretty secondary place. So now this is food for thought about this. So these sculptures were made and built. Basically, we want to discuss once again about our first peoples, the Charruas. But there's still much to do about this, because we still need to redefine how important these are to us and their meaning. That's why this technological project, these are 3D models that you can download, print in 3D printers. You can also analyze all those aspects related to aesthetics. But the most important part is try to have another look at these monuments, to start discussing about this again. Why are they located in the places where they are? In these pictures, using augmented reality, we can take these monuments to the main avenue in the city that is right opposite the university. So there are many possibilities that we can use. If we take these from the monuments and we use them, and we can do that with the charruas and with the different monuments, gauchos or some other characters that are represented in brass and marble. So through some critical thinking, we can have more specific ideas who we are, how are we represented, and what things make us feel proud. So this last picture shows the website. Please feel free to download these images. Right next to me, I have some of the 3D models that you can achieve through 3D printing. Here we have Gushunusa and Micaela. So this is, you can download this for free. So far we got very positive feedback from the people and users. We are proud of that. So just feel free to visit the website. You have the email address, and we are interested in getting to know about you and all the things you've done with the models. Now we're gonna be implementing the second stage. We're gonna try to reach 100 more monuments for the end of the year, and we can move on to cover them all. So thank you very much for the invitation, and it's been a pleasure listening to you.
Well, if somebody wants to make any question, please go ahead. Hello? Yes, Fernandez. Yes, I'm listening. Yes, I listen you perfectly. Okay. When you were finishing, the video conference equipment is not working properly. Fernando, you wanted to show us the different models? Yes, of course. The invitation to visit the website and also to get the feedback, comments, see if you want to use some of the models, what you can do with them. I am showing you some of them. This is the Battle of Sarandí, made in red plastic. Also, Kushunusa with her daughter Micaela. Well, we have discovered all the monuments. Also the 3D impression of Artigas, or printing of Artigas. And everything is on the room, on the table, dialogue and feedback. And we can also get a lot in this kind of revision of history. There is my invitation to send you or send us your comments. Well, material, everything is on the website, and then you can download the models to print them. Particularly the rooms here in Uruguay, they have already let us know they have 3D printers, and they were trying to download the different files and print them. It is a real possibility. Well, you have the opportunity now. Now we move with the final room with Gonzalo Vifarella. We thank Fernando Paulino. We keep in touch. Okay, different rooms. If you have any question in particular with him, we can receive them, and then to send a different message to the artist. Remember that Fernando Paulino is an Uruguayan artist, and it is a way of showing you and to connect with different artists in different countries. Thank you very much again, Fernando. We are going to close this space with Gonzalo Vifarella. Gonzalo was connected just some minutes ago, but now we don't know what happened. But in Cordoba, there was a kind of tornado, 70 miles per hour wind. So the cities, there is no light in the city, but he cannot join us live. We cannot show, no, we cannot enjoy that with like the Festival of Seeds or the dancing groups from Mexico, Bernardo Sebastian from Chile. These particular things of being in live have some technical problems, and particularly in Gonzalo's situation. But we thank him for being there despite all the difficulties in the city. What we are going to show you is a video which you can get on the web. It's on sale on the net by Gonzalo Vifarella, but he sent us this video to share with us. While you are preparing the video with the different videos of images of Gonzalo's and the witches, where we're going to give some introduction about the witches and witchy people and recording the different songs, the different witchy songs. He worked in an electroacoustic level. Gonzalo Vifarella is an electroacoustic musician, and his idea in that moment was to work with the different offerings from the witches singing. Maybe you are already watching the video.